I call on Government Order of the Day number 4.
Shop Trading Hours Amendment Bill, second reading.
Mr Speaker.
The Honourable Michael Woodhouse.
Mr Speaker, I move that the Shop Trading Hours Amendment Bill be now read a second time. The question of whether to allow shop trading over the Easter period is a contentious one, considered by this House on numerous occasions. Those in support of Easter Sunday trading emphasise economic opportunities and the freedom of shoppers to choose, while those against it focus on the need for shops to be closed to mark a day of significance and for workers to be able to spend time with their families. The government is eager to resolve this perennial issue. The inconsistency in the present law is pretty well known, with Queenstown and Taupo able to open on Easter Sunday, but Wanaka and Rotorua not able to. Actually, it isn't as clear as that, with the Pembroke Mall in Wanaka, but only stage 1 of that mall, actually able to open. Picton able to open, but only if there's a cruise ship in town, as if that's the only centre that gets cruise ships these days. And in my home city of Dunedin, the Carnegie Centre in Murray Place is able to open, but only for arts, crafts and children's toys. But books and toys can only be sold while performances are happening on the mezzanine floor. It's a ludicrous artefact of the law when, to the best of my knowledge, the Carnegie Centre doesn't even open for retail trading anymore. The point is, the law is a complete muddle. While there have been successive attempts to change it, these have been defeated on personal votes that oppose such a change on the grounds of religious or union beliefs. I myself have opposed such a bill, but supported one in the name of the Honourable Todd McClay, on whose bill this bill is modelled. It simply gives choice to the local community through its territorial authority to decide whether its retail stores should be able to open. Now, the vote on this bill is likely to be deemed a personal vote, but the National Caucus has agreed to vote in support of it at this and remaining readings. And I want to thank members of the Commerce Committee, well led by its chair, Melissa Lee, for their hard work, and also for the submitters who made thoughtful submissions on the bill. The Commerce Committee spent a significant amount of time considering it and heard from a range of submitters. Now, unfortunately, it has not been able to reach agreement on amendments that could be reported back to the House for consideration. That, Mr Speaker, is a shame, because there were some useful improvements that could have been presented to members in order for them to decide in their conscience whether to support it. The role of the Select Committee in considering a bill that will be the subject of a conscience vote is, in my view, to present the bill in the best shape for that vote, not to impose their will on the House. But opposition members have voted against any amendments and that course of action, causing the vote on the amendments for consideration to be tied and therefore lost. And I think that's a great shame. It's a great shame that not only does the House not even get to choose what it should do and be the architect of its own destiny, a personal vote, but the opposition members cannot bring themselves even to support that very simple concept of democracy, which is the freedom to choose, the essence that is in this bill, and I think that's a terrible shame. The amendments to the bill that were the subject of the committee's deliberations were very good. I thought they had merit. So I've introduced a supplementary order paper for the House's consideration at the committee stage. The SOP proposes to change the mechanism by which territorial authorities permit shop trading on Easter Sunday from a bylaw to a local policy. It also further strengthens the protections for shop employees who refuse to work on Easter Sunday. The bill makes 2 key changes to the shop trading restrictions regime. First, it allows communities to have a choice to determine whether shop trading can take place on Easter Sunday. And second, it grants employment protections to employees, ensuring they have the right to refuse to work on Easter Sunday. Local communities will have the ability to choose whether shop trading... You see, there's the year right. They don't even believe employees have a right to choose. They don't even believe that they should be able to choose to say no. To choose whether they want to earn income on that day, just shut it down. I think that's a terrible reflection on the opposition. Because territorial authorities will be required to consult with their communities. Their communities will choose another choice that the opposition doesn't want the public to have on any proposal to permit shop trading on Easter Sunday. Now, some have suggested the bill will further confuse and complicate shop trading restrictions, but given the descriptions that I made earlier in my speech, I think the only way really is a pathway of clarity. It is simply a yes or no to the opening of retail stores on Easter Sunday. Authorities cannot impose any additional shop trading rules under this amendment. Territorial authorities, in consultation with their communities, can determine if shop trading should be enabled and whether it should occur in an entire district or in parts of it. It's a pragmatic solution to an issue that's been constantly debated in this House. Mr. Speaker, the bill provides shop employees the right to refuse to work on Easter Sunday. Shop employees can refuse to work on Easter Sunday without providing a reason, and an employer cannot compel them to work. If a shop employee is compelled to work or disadvantaged for refusing to work, the employee can take a personal grievance against the employer in accordance with the Employment Relations Act 2000. The personal grievance mechanism is the appropriate recourse. This is in line with the dispute resolution mechanisms in place for other issues concerning unjustifiable actions by their employer. The Employment Relations Act 2000 provides for free mediation and low-cost dispute resolution via the Employment Relations Authority, and the authority could send the parties to mediation first, as they do with other employment relationship issues. The bill clearly requires employers to ask employees to work for each Easter Sunday and sets out the employer obligations relating to this. This agreement must be sought each year and cannot be part of an employment agreement. Any such provision in an employment agreement would be unenforceable. The right to refuse to work on Easter Sunday will be extended to all shop employees on Easter Sunday under the Act. This includes employees who currently work in garden centres, petrol stations and dairies and so on. It is a pragmatic and well-balanced approach that provides choice to local communities on whether or not to allow shop trading on Easter Sunday, while also giving protections to all shop employees on that day. I commend it to the House.
The question is that the motion be agreed to. Dr. David Clark.